Hey friends, welcome to my channel. Let's get crafting. This DIY is such a beautiful ornament to accomplish. You're going to need some wooden beads, some wire, and a ribbon of your liking. You're going to start by cutting off a piece of wire to your desired size, because you can do this in a lot of different sizes. And then you're going to put on the beads that you want, twist it at the bottom, making it almost like an oval shape. And as you twist it, make sure that the beads are nice and tight on there, and then twist it off to knot it and get a completed finished hold on those beads. Now we're going to take a ribbon, fold it in half, open that loop, pull that ribbon through, and then you're going to just keep zhuzhing it up until you get it to a place that you want it to look like. And then go ahead and just open up those ribbons and making sure that they are the desired look that you want. Add a bow right on top, cut off those ends to make them look as pretty as you want. You can do a dovetail or a little angled cut, and you are ready to hang this up on your tree or even a doorknob. How adorable could that be to put that on a doorknob? I just love these, and they're so easy to make, and they're so cost efficient for Christmas decor. So give it a try and let me know what you think. Today is a Friend Friday hop, and if you are returning, welcome back. I'm so excited you came back again. I hope you have been enjoying this series. If you're new, it's really easy. All of these lovely ladies are teaming up with me today, and we will be linking from one channel to the next. Simply go down to my description box, click on the link, and that will take you to the next channel, and you will be able to hop all the way around in a full circle. As you're going, don't forget to leave a comment, because there is a giveaway for this collab with these ladies for my Friend Friday hop. This is the giveaway, the Crafter's Dream giveaway. All of the tools that you will need to get started as a crafter, or just to update maybe your old supplies that you've had for a really long time. For this craft, we're going to be using a large ornament, birds, some greenery, a foam square, and some Spanish moss. Now, we are picking up all of these supplies from the Dollar Tree. So what we're going to do to get started is we're going to take that foam square, and with a craft knife, we're going to cut off the edges of this block. Then once you've got them cut off, go ahead and take it and press it down on the table, flattening out those sides so it's a nice rounded piece. This is going to be the base for what we're going to be building. Now we're going to take the ornament, pop off that metal top, and we're going to make an impression down into that foam, because this is going to become the base of it. And after I started putting this in here and I glued it all in, I wish I had added a couple eggs in there. I thought that would have been so cute, but it was kind of too late because I had already put it all down. I had the idea afterwards, but this is supposed to look like a little nest inside of this little ball. And now we're going to add in some of the E6000 to make sure that stays on there, and some hot glue. And if you missed it earlier, I actually glued that moss down into place, and I was using a hook to pull it down so it would bond to the glue. Now what we're going to do, once we got the ball onto the foam piece, I'm using my hot glue gun. I learned this last year. A couple of you gave me this really great idea. They said, hey, you could use the tip of your hot glue gun to create a hole in any plastic ornament. So that's what I'm doing. I made about 5 holes with my hot glue gun tip. It didn't ruin my glue gun at all. And now I'm going to go ahead and take a few leaves off of one of my florals that I had that I showed at the beginning. And I'm going to pop off the back part and keep part of that plastic on to push down into that hole to glue it on there, because hot glue is one of those things that over time it'll peel off. It really needs something to be able to bond it together. This is the reason why we made the holes. So once you've got a couple of leaves on there, using some of those little plastic pieces that are originally on the leaf, on the actual stem, now we're going to move on to our bird. So I'm going to take a piece of wire, and I popped out his legs because I didn't want that, and his body's actually hollow. These birds from the Dollar Tree are hollow. So I went ahead and just looped that wire around in there, and now I'm looping it through the holes that we made earlier with our hot glue gun, and I'm going to just twist him on into place. This is going to keep this bird on here without it falling off and having any issues at all, which is going to be so great. And now we're going to add all kinds of cute little things. So I'm going to add this little twig that I accidentally randomly found inside of my Spanish moss bag. It came out when I was getting out the moss. I thought, hey, that's perfect. I'll just put that on there to make it look like it's sitting on a little branch. And now I'm going to add in some moss around the base of the bird and just make it look like it's sitting up in a tree looking over its nest. I just thought this was so fun. Now at this point we're going to go down and we're going to start working on that foam piece. And we're going to start adding in some greenery picks and some Christmas tree twist ties that I have from the Dollar Tree that I just cut them apart. Once you've got that base around the ball covered, you're then going to go to the bottom of our foam and we're going to add a couple pieces at the bottom and we're going to wrap one around and we're just going to glue everything all into place so it has a really nice finished look on the bottom. See how I'm gluing and I'm pulling it over and making sure everything's nice and tight and all finished and the base of it looks nice and complete. I always really like to go for that store finished look. Then I added some more greenery around where the foam was still showing right above the ribbon. And now I'm going to take one of these garden tags that they have over in their floral section and I'm going to write the word joy, or paint, better yet. I'm going to paint the word joy on here. I thought this would be really pretty to put on the front of the ribbon. Add some hot glue and now I'm just going to put that right on the front center, and this being up on a little pedestal would just be so cute for decor. If you are new to my channel, my name is Heidi Sonboul and I love crafting. I have been crafting my whole life. I actually picked up the hobby from my mom. I'm so grateful that she passed that down to me. Now here on my channel, I am posting on Tuesdays and Fridays, and what you can expect on those days. First, on Tuesdays, I'm doing 10 on Tuesdays, and this coming Tuesday is my very first episode, so don't miss it. And on Fridays are my Friend Friday Hops. Now, if you happen to like big videos full of ideas, I have got a playlist that is linked down below in my description box, so you can go over there and check it out and see all the different holiday large videos that I have for you to be able to be inspired for new ideas for your home. Here on my channel, I love to give some really easy projects to try if you're a new crafter and some that are a little more advanced. So today we're going to be doing this really cute votive holder. We're going to take this box. It normally has a little box that you would slide it into, but this was left over from a craft, and so I wanted to use this. You can get this in their Crafter's Corner at the Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna go ahead and use this Crop-A-Dile tool that I love so much. Be able to punch a couple holes out. I'm going to link this tool down below. People ask me about it all the time. It punches through wood and metal, and it does not hurt your hand if you have any arthritis issues because it's got a spring system in it. Once I had my holes punched out and I painted the box white, and you can paint it whatever color you want, but I went with white because I'm doing red and white this Christmas season for my home. I'm going to go ahead and take some of this green wire from the Dollar Tree that I found, and I'm just going to take a little piece of this wire long enough to be able to create a handle and to pull it up on the sides and twist it around into place. Once I have that on, I'm going to go ahead and cut out a nice long piece of ribbon to attach a bow to the side. Now this could be so cute, making several of these and putting them on a table, down the center of a table for a party. I just love how this turned out, and this was so cost efficient. Now to really make it look special, to top it off, I'm going to get one of the Dollar Tree little votive lights that they have that are battery operated and put that right down inside. If you haven't heard, I'm over on Instagram, and I would love for you to come over and say hi to me. My account name is Heidi Sonboul, and I post in my stories daily. I also give a lot of sneak peeks to projects that I'm working on. Another fun thing that I do over there is called the Dollar Tree DIY Tour, where I partner with a couple other friends, and each week we host a fun Dollar Tree DIY tour. It's really easy, and if you're interested, just come on over, send me a message, and I will help you get started in the tour. We post every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For this DIY, we are going to be actually only using 3 of these long signs from the Dollar Tree and one of these cute holiday signs that you can also pick up at the Dollar Tree. Now, I actually stopped in the process of doing this video to run out and finally break down and buy a heat gun. So many of you have been saying, Heidi, just get a heat gun. These stickers will come right off. Friends, why didn't I listen to you sooner? This sticker came off so easy, and the best part was that once it came off, I was able to just tap it a couple times and the extra glue that was on the sign came off. So easy. I wish I had listened to you all earlier. Thank you for everyone who's been saying, Heidi, just get a heat gun. Now these signs are about 18 inches long, so I'm going to just cut that in half, and I'm going to find that exact half point, and I'm going to use a 45-degree angle cut, standing it up on its side, so it's not flat, but it's up on its side. If that makes sense? And you can see here that I've got these 2 pieces that are the same size, and now I'm going to figure out the base. So I'm going to take this and just mark it off, and I don't have the exact measurement for this, but it just depends on how wide you want to make this, because today, friends, we are making a really sweet nativity scene. Now for the rooftop, we're going to use 1 more of these, so this is why I was saying we need 3 of them, and we're going to just create a cut line for where they're going to miter together at the top. So we're going to need a 45-degree angle for that. And then we need it just to be flat on the ends, not an angled cut. So you can see I have the 2 green ones that are a little bit shorter for the roof. The black ones are a little bit longer for the walls. And then the blue one is for the base. Now I laid it all out, tried to hold them all in place so I can trace around the sign, because we're going to cut that down so this could be the back of it and make it really sturdy. Now I love this because if you score these boards, these signs, if you score them a couple times, they pop right off where you want them to be cut, and then you just go over it with a pair of old scissors and you cut off the rest so you have a nice clean line. So you can see here that I'm just going over this side, I scored it, I pulled it back, and then it just pops right off. And then you can use your scissors to just clean up the line if there's anything extra that needs to be cleaned up. Now we can start assembling our darling nativity. So I'm going to go ahead and put down the walls first. I'm making sure that they come all the way down to the bottom, and I'm going to just take my staple gun and staple that in place. And all of my tools, if you're interested in any of my tools, I'm going to have them linked down below so you can check them all out. So I'm just going to do a couple staples just to get it started to hold them in place, and I'm going to come back and really reinforce the back. I love whenever the projects are really well built versus you drop it and it's going to break. So now at the top, I went ahead and mitered the corners together with some wood glue and some hot glue, and now I'm coming in and quickly adding on the glue to the sides of the walls and also to the back side of the roof, and I'm just gluing that all down into place to making sure everything's nice and secure. And then I'm coming back in with my staple gun and just going crazy on it. Now here's this next part. Obviously I'm not going into my desk. I'm doing a countersink hole. I'm just going around enough to make sure that the screw head will be able to sink down in there, because you don't want that to scratch your table. And once I had that done, I went ahead and added some glue to the bottom of the walls, lined up those countersink holes, and then I took my drill and drilled all the way through it, so that way when I go to put a screw in, it'll go in really easy. So once I've pre-drilled that hole, I switched out my bit and I went ahead and added in the screw and drilled it all into place. This is going to be that final thing that is going to make this thing, you could drop it a million times. Well, I wouldn't drop it off of like a big building. Then it would probably break. But you could drop this a bunch and not have to worry about it breaking or having any issues, because everything has been stapled together and screwed down at the bottom. It's built really well if you follow these steps. Now I'm going to take some white paint. I think I went over with about 4 coats of white paint. I really wanted to make sure the white was really beautiful and just glowing. Now I'm going to take some of these peg people. I don't know if you've ever seen these, but this is like a real trendy thing to do over on Pinterest, and I love these little peg people. I've loved them for years. I thought it would be so sweet to make a Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus out of these peg people. So first I started by painting on their faces, And then I went in with the color for their clothes. So Mary, I went with a really pretty blue color, a very light teal, almost like an ocean blue. And then while I was letting that dry over to the side, and a heat gun works so great for that too. I'm so glad I went and finally bought a heat gun. You're going to see me using it a lot in this video. Now I'm going to use some brown, and I'm going to put on Joseph's beard, and I'm just kind of tapping it around and making a hairline. And while that's drying, I switched to black, and I'm now going to put on Mary's hair, and I kind of made a little swoop in the front so you could tell that she, you know, is Mary and has pretty hair. And now I'm taking a fine tip brush, and I'm going to make some scallops all the way down her. And I'm going to come back in with this lighter blue color so that you can really see the difference between the two blues. This is going to be her pretty veil that she has on her, or her shawl. I don't know exactly. I think it's like a veil, maybe a shawl. Leave a comment down below. Educate me if I'm saying it wrong. I'm not offended if you help your friend Heidi out. And then for baby Jesus, I went ahead and used the same color that I used on her shawl, on her covering. I don't know. Now we're going to go over to Joseph, and I went ahead and added green to a really pretty green. I really love this color. And I went all the way up to his neckline, just twisting around. And the fun thing about these is you really could just make them look however you want them to look. You can customize them, you can change their hair color. It's so fun doing this project. I really enjoyed making these, and I just think they're so sweet. Wait until you see them all together with the Nativity, and it's so fun how this project turned out. Now for Mary, I wanted to add a little bit more detail, so I took the back of my brush and I'm just making tiny little dots all over to give her some design and to, you know, just make her look more feminine. And then on the bottom of Joseph, I went around with some white paint, creating some little dots all the way around him. Now when they were drying, I went ahead and switched back over to the house because the white paint was done drying. And I'm just going to take some ticking cloth, and I'm going to just go ahead and add that to the back of the house to clean it up, because that's where the glittery sign was on the back side. Now we're going to take a wooden star. I have a pack of these that I got from, I think it was Hobby Lobby with a 40% off coupon, or they might have been on sale. And I'm just going to paint that yellow, and I'm going to put that right up at the top of the house, and it's going to clean up that line where we mitered those pieces together, and it looks really finished and polished at this point. If you didn't know, I host a monthly challenge. It is called the DIY Challenge. I love it. It's such a great way to be seen, especially if you're a new channel, and it's just a fun way to connect with other crafters. There will be a playlist. These are all the rules, and the playlist goes live on November 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you will join in. If you have any questions, just send me a message down below, and I will try to answer all of those questions. This project is another easy project to try out if you're a new crafter, or if you just like making ornaments. So I'm going to take this wooden star that they have at the Crafter's Corner, or the Crafter's Square, I think it's one of those two, at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to just patch the original hole, because we're actually going to do a different hole direction. This actually doesn't lend well to hanging up on a Christmas tree. It's better to run your hole this way, but you could technically just keep the original hole that they had. I just wanted to switch it because I guess I'm just a spaz. I don't know. So I've decided to just take my drill and quickly drill a little hole on the other side. You can see on the side of the star. Once I had that drilled, I went ahead and painted my star red. Now you can paint your star whatever color you would like, but I'm doing red and white for Christmas, so I went with a red star so I can put this on my tree. Now this cool little paintbrush I picked up recently from Joann's, and I'll show you the package for it in just a second, but there's 4 of them in a pack. They have 2 different sizes in the pack, so they have 2 of the larger, 2 of the smaller. And I love it because you can tap on dots. I love polka dots. I don't know about all of you, but I love a good polka dot and a good stripe. So I'm just going to make a really cute, simple polka dot pattern on this red, and it just pops, and it is so farmhouse cute. I love this ornament so much, and it was so easy to make. So once I went over all of my dots a couple times, I really wanted to make sure the white was really strong and it stood out. These are the little brush tags that I picked up, so you can go ahead and pick those up. But once that paint was dry, I went ahead and just sanded the sides just a little bit. I wanted it to be, you know, a farmhouse look. Y'all know I love that style here on my channel. And you don't have to sand it, but that's what Heidi did. So I'm just sanding it just ever so slightly on the sides, and then after I'm all done, I'm going to take that original twine that I untied. I slipped it back through my hole that I drilled, and I'm just going to tie my knot. And you're going to see here at the end how just changing the direction of that hole is going to allow it to hang beautifully on a tree when you go to hang it up. Friends, I hope you feel inspired by this video today. Leave a comment down below to let me know what was your favorite project today. Don't forget to enjoy the hop. The link is down below in my description box to the next channel. And don't forget to leave a comment on all of the videos to enter that Crafter's Dream giveaway with all of those awesome tools that all of us girls have come together to gift to one of our viewers. Thanks so much for stopping by, and until the next episode, bye friends.